Shalom. As always, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the one seals and apostles of Great Millstone GMS. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse, let's get to the point. Verse 31, regard not them that have familiar spirits, unless you got the wizards to be defiled by them, and the Lord your power. Alright, so don't defile yourself by turning to mediums, or those who consult the spirit of the dead. Mediums, people that consult with demons and things like that, like false apostles on the left hand, like apostles on the prophets on the left hand. Not really apostles, but technically they are apostles because they're representatives of demons and stuff. They align themselves with Satan, and are pretty much servants of Satan, pushing out the vibration of Satan and satanic activity. Whether or not they say actual Satan, or they say Baal, Moloch, or Zeus, or whatever pantheon of false gods that these said person believes in, which all the gods are demons, as we know. The scripture says that gods of the people are demons, right? And regarding them, to be defiled by them, I am the Lord your power. So we're not supposed to be involved. We sort things, like what do you call it? Damn things, tarot cards and bullshit like that. Things that claim to tell you the future. People doing palm readings, like the fuck, like that bullshit and the crystal ball and the witchcraft. King Saul did that. He involved himself with the what do you call it, necromancy. We're not supposed to be engaged in that activity. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 9. See, Puritanism forbidden. When thou art come to the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. As I said, these things are not separation between us and them. That began all the way, since Abraham leaving his fathers, and kind of going off and doing his old thing. I don't know if that, I can't remember where that account is written. I think it's in Josiah, but his father was worshiping idols, and Abraham, he turned away from that. He was like, I can't do this shit, and he went out and did his own thing, which is the case for a lot of us. A lot of us aren't really able to so-called reconcile or concile with our parents and our beliefs. So we kind of got to go out and leave and do our own thing, which is ideal anyway. You should leave and have the ability to do your own thing. You should be financially stable enough to be able to do your own thing, without having to look behind you, or you want to go out and camp, but you got to make it look like you're not going to go do that, and you have to go hide your signs and stuff like that. It's a pain in the ass. All right. So this is the book of Leviticus 18 and 10. There should not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the flames, or uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. So you can't sacrifice your son or daughter to pass through the fire. Like offer them as a burnt offering to Molech. Pass through the fire means to offer them as a burnt offering, as you all know. They say that how it went. The Moloch idol, they would put the fire in the belly, and they would Moloch would have its hands stretched out, and the hands would become exceedingly hot, and they would put the baby upon the hands of Molech, and to mask the sound of the baby's cries, they would beat drums, and they would make it go real quick, so the parents wouldn't get any kind of ideas to try to go get their kid out. That's another reason why they beat the drums to keep the parents from wanting to go get their child after hearing its child's cries. I believe they did it for a harvest, or I can't remember what it was, but there was accounts of Carthage. They say on every full moon they would sacrifice a child. I was watching this Roman documentary about Rome, and it mentioned that. I think it was called the Roman War Machine or something. You could find it uh, on YouTube. I think it was called the Roman War Machine. I reposted it on my community tab, but no one watches that, so who knows? Um, right? Or charmer or consulter with familiar spirits or wizard or necromancer. And when I say that, don't get all hurt and whatever, because I mean it is what it is. No one really watches me like that, but I don't care, because at the end of the day, I don't come out here to teach for views, and having views is kind of stressful because I mean then you get a lot of trolls, and I don't really want to deal with that. Now if they come, that's outside of my control, but if I had the choice whether to deal with trolls or not deal with trolls, I'd rather not deal with trolls. I don't want that shit at all. Like, just leave me alone. Let me have my little corner. I just teach, and then I run away, and that's it. And I teach again, and I run away, and I teach again, and I run away, and that's it. Because you shouldn't be seeing me unless I'm teaching. I'm not gonna sit here and talk like this is a goddamn talk show or some shit. It's not a goddamn talk show. I'm not here to just, oh yeah, so I went to the gym and then I benched this much. No, you guys don't give a fuck. What you're here for is to learn scriptures. And that's the only thing I'm going to speak about here. I'm not going to talk about my life or XYZ because it doesn't matter. You didn't come here for that. If you want to hear about people's life, go watch another fucking channel. Got millions of people online, millions of channels. People just talk about themselves. I'm not here to talk about them. I'm here to talk about this truth. Break these things down. Or charmer, or consult with familiar spirits, or wizard or necromancer, right? Or cast spells or function as mediums or psychics to call forth the spirits of the dead. Which you're not supposed to be engaging in any of that stuff. It's strictly forbidden. And people doing that Wicca shit and all that bullshit. I don't even really know the ins and outs of that stuff. It's unnecessary. The stuff with the board. And they move the board and they claim that, spirits of the dead are moving the board around and shit. I have family that were involved in that. The ritual cuttings for witchcraft, the voodoo shit. We're not supposed to be involved in any of that shit. All that shit is that Canaanite, Hamite bullshit. Kemetic mystery school system nonsense. We're not supposed to be involved in any of that stuff. Alright, for all that do these things, an abomination to the Lord, because these abominations, the Lord doth drive them out before thee. Right, so those abominations cause the to drive them out and judge them. Likewise, in this place here in America, the abominations of these people is going to cause the Lord to come down and, burn this place with fire. Which is the second death. And you could read about that. The abominable, the whoremonger, etc., shall have their place in the lake of fire, burning with fire and brimstone. Which is the second death, which I think is Revelation 20 or something. But you can go find that. That's pretty much it. I spoke about pretty much everything I needed to. Shalom.